Hello, Laura. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, Kimberly?
I am fantastic after a day with young adults. Yes,
Is
I
mine
am.
coming up backwards to you? When you look at it, does it look like it's flipped?
So when I
Hmm.
look at it, it looked like it's the right way. It's it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yep. It's gonna look backwards to you, but it looks the right way to me.
Okay,
All
good.
right. So, Laura, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get us started because we do have a time frame. But first of all, let me just say this. I am so humbled and honored that I get to interview you today. I have four questions that I am going to ask you. And so we will go ahead and get started. All right.
Great.
All right. Well, first of all, let me say congratulations to you and being named our Business Education Partnership Award, the Don Wood Foundation. We are just so thrilled and excited that you all continue to partner and work with us. And so I am going to go ahead and ask you your first question. All
Excellent.
right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the partnership constructed by the Don Wood Foundation and its connections to career and technical education.
So the Don Wood Foundation is headquartered in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is the northeast corner of the state, but we've partnered with several career and technical education or career academies in that region of the state of Indiana in order to further particularly the areas of advanced manufacturing and entrepreneurship, though we look very broadly at the scope of all career and technical education. That partnership was crafted by way of us proactively reaching out to the career and technical education centers that are set up as districts in our state, and by building relationships with the directors of each of those CTE centers and learning about what their greatest needs were and how we could potentially at the Don Wood Foundation come alongside of them.
All right, that is so wonderful. Um, Partnership. So this partnership has done a lot to strengthen the support and just give us the things that we needed over the years for CTE. Can you tell us about some activities or initiatives that you're particularly proud of and excited about?
Sure. So one instance that comes to mind is a collaboration with the Area 18 Cooperative, again in Northeast Indiana, and that's an example of an area in our state that has a high need for positions and in advanced manufacturing and precision machining and in welding. And so those are just a few of the key areas in which we learned about both the programmatic and the capital expenditure needs of the Career and Tech Education Center and of the cooperative. And what's really unique, I think, about that particular instance is they specialize. So it forms as a true cooperative in that there's not duplication between the various schools that make up the cooperative. I think that's unique because it shows a collaborative spirit in the CTE landscape, which sometimes can be challenging to build that sense of collaboration and cooperation. And we see that as part of what's arisen out of that connectivity with Area 18. Another initiative I think the Don Wood Foundation is particularly proud of would be some of the research that we're doing around CTE in our region. So, what we're in the process of doing is mapping out all areas, even though we have a specific interest in advanced manufacturing and related fields. We're mapping out the entire landscape of CTE for Northeast Indiana and trying to find out what's being offered, where is it being offered, where are there gaps, and this effort is something that's actually begun to turn heads at the state of Indiana's CTE office, as well as the Commission of Higher Education. because they are very interested in understanding that landscape and how it maps out where those potential gaps are, and then how do we potentially fill those gaps. So those are just a couple of examples of some of the initiatives that we have been working on in the area of CTE and collaboration with the Don Wood Foundation.
All right, thank you so much, Laura. And so my next question to you is this. So what would you say to other businesses or organizations that are interested in getting more involved in supporting CTE programs? And where do they start? And what can they do to make it a rewarding partnership?
That's a fantastic question. I think what it really starts with is the business or the industry's desire to be engaged with CTE. And so it has to go beyond just wanting to hire the students when they complete their programs. I think there has to be true engagement and immersion in the programming. I know one of the areas, at least in Northeast Indiana, that CTE continues to have challenges is in retaining talented instructors. And so, one way a business might be able to engage with CTE in a meaningful capacity would be to loan one of their competent, members of their team or of the company to the CTE center to collaborate and potentially and gain the skills needed for the students in order to come out after they graduate and really succeed in the workplace, because those individuals have both the technical expertise as well as the industry experience and can really bring that into a classroom setting. So how might a business get started doing that? I think it's as simple as building a connection to the CTE center with the director. The directors that we interface with throughout the state of Indiana are very generally open to collaboration or open to cooperating with business and industry. It just takes someone making that first outreach.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. We're one of those, we're organization that we really like the collaboration aspect. We really, because we know that, we are good at what we do in our classrooms, but it's another thing when you have an organization that's willing to come in and cooperate and collaborate with you, to help extend or even to take the learning to a whole nother level. And so I think that that's just really awesome in what you all do. And so here is our fourth and final question. So looking forward toward CTE's future, what changes in education, practice, or policies do you anticipate or hope to see forthcoming?
I think one thing that we would hope to see more of, and I think there's a growing awareness of the need for it, would be work-based learning. And especially when you consider that many of the CTE districts in our area are rural. And so when you think about that, it brings a plethora of sometimes barriers in terms of whether it's transportation for students, whether it's a selection of sites where they can do their work-based learning. But I think that immersion, so just like it's beneficial to have instructors come from industry and teach, ways in business and industry, it's also beneficial for students to go and learn on the work site as well. And I think that integration of work-based learning and really bringing that in and making that a holistic part of the offerings of CTE for our students would be really beneficial going forward. That's one change I hope to see in the landscape, at least in the state of Indiana, in the coming years. And it's one that there is a lot of talk about in terms of the necessity of bringing work-based learning in and making sure that it becomes an opportunity for all students, not just students in one specific area or field of career and tech ed. And I think another potential change would be a better alignment of resources. So in the state of Indiana, dollars follow the students. And so if students leave their home district of a school, it follows them to the career and tech education centers. that's inherently creating challenges and clashing between the schools and the CTE centers because of the need for those restricted resources. And so if we as private philanthropy can come alongside of schools and CTE centers and augment those funds with additional philanthropic resources, it may dissipate some of that natural tension that exists between the schools and the career and tech education centers, so that we can see greater and greater cooperation. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the students and all about their success. And each student ought to be able to have access to the programs that they are most interested in studying. And sometimes the barrier becomes a lack of seats due to those fiscal restraints for the schools in order to let those funds go.
Yeah, Laura, it's just, always so refreshing, when we have, organizations and foundations that are willing to partner with us and help us. And, that you see, where the areas of weaknesses and strengths are and how you can, lend yourself and your organization to help us. And, we're just so fortunate to have companies as yourself and have, people like yourself who are willing to just donate time, right? Donate time and give, and also the monetary funds. But I think it's more so the partnerships and the relationship building that really is what, we are so thrilled about and happy about. And so I just want to give you an opportunity if you just like to just share just a little more about, your experience and just really and what you have taken away from this opportunity and how this business partnership award has really heightened and made you all feel just wonderful inside.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to do so. We were so humbled and honored to be receiving this award. We did not expect it at all. It just, I think, is a testament to the power of collaboration. And there's no question that we would not be receiving this award from ACTE had it not been for the collaborations that we built with the career and tech education centers, because it's all centered around them and their work with the students. And we're here just to really bolster and lift them up. But, it's been an incredible experience to be engaged with ACTE, with the award, with our partners. We were so honored that so many came together to nominate the Don Wood Foundation. That was another just, humbling moment for me. When I learned that, and there's just so much gratitude in our hearts for being a part of this and being considered a model that could potentially be followed in other parts of the the nation.
Yes, well, we are so thankful and grateful to you and the Don Wood Foundation. And we look for many more years of collaboration and wonderful things to happen. And just thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to get to know you a little better and to interview you, as well as to thank you for your collaboration and your contribution to career and technical education.
Well, thank you, Kimberly, and thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and learn a little more about the collaborations built by the
Yeah.
Don Wood Foundation. And truly grateful for this opportunity. And thanks to ACTE for making this all possible.
Yes, thank you so much. Listen, have a wonderful holiday season, and we look forward to many more collabs in the year of 2024.
Likewise. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Take
Thank
good care.
you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.